Liam's eyes fluttered open. The first thing he noticed was the cold. It seeped through his clothes and made him shiver. He tried to move, but his body felt heavy and strange. The air smelled faintly of flowers and something metallic like blood. Liam's mind spun. He could not remember how he had gotten here. He blinked, trying to see clearly. The room was dimly lit by a soft red glow that came from lanterns hanging on the walls. The walls themselves were dark, covered with tall tapestries that swayed slightly even though there was no wind. Strange patterns moved across the fabric like shadows dancing in the light. Liam swallowed hard, a feeling of unease creeping into his chest. "Ah, you are awake." The voice was smooth and soft, but it made Liam freeze. He turned his head and saw a woman standing in the doorway. She was tall, her figure elegant and commanding. Her skin was pale, almost luminous in the red light, and her eyes glowed a deep crimson. Her hair fell like black silk down her back. Liam's heart beat faster. Who are you?" he asked, his voice shaking slightly. "I am Selene," she said, stepping forward. Every movement she made was graceful, precise. "I am the Vampire Queen." Liam's mind struggled to process her words. Vampire Queen? It sounded like a story from a book, not reality. He tried to think of a reason why she would be here, standing over him, smiling faintly. Then her lips curved into a teasing smile. "You were talking about me in your sleep," she said. Liam's mouth went dry. I don't understand," he stammered. Selene tilted her head, studying him with sharp eyes. "You were dreaming. You spoke my name without knowing it. Curiosity brought you to me, though perhaps your dreams led the way more than you realize." Liam's heart pounded. He tried to sit up, but his body felt light and strange, almost weightless. Panic rose inside him. He looked around, searching for a way out. But the room had no windows, no visible doors except the one Selene had entered from. "Do not fear," Selene said softly, noticing his anxiety. "You are safe here. For now." Liam wanted to ask why, but words failed him. Instead, he watched her move across the room. She did not walk. It was as if she glided. The red light caught on her pale skin and her black hair, creating a sharp contrast that made her seem unreal. "You must be wondering why you are here," she said, "and why I have not harmed you. I don't even know how I got here," Liam said finally. "One moment I was walking home, and the next, I woke up in this place." Selene nodded, her expression thoughtful. "The world above is not ready for what lies beneath. But you have arrived, whether by fate or chance. That is something we cannot ignore." Liam's mind was spinning. He tried to think rationally. Vampires did not exist. They were stories, myths. And yet here she was, real, standing in front of him, speaking as if it were normal for a human to wake up in her house. I don't know what to say," Liam admitted. Selene smiled faintly, a hint of amusement in her eyes. "You do not need to say anything yet. You only need to observe, learn. Perhaps you will understand in time." She gestured toward the door. "Come, I will show you the city." Liam hesitated. His instincts screamed to run, but his legs felt heavy, and he realized that the world outside might be just as strange as the one inside this house. Against his better judgment, he followed her. The hallway beyond the room was wide and tall, lined with statues of creatures Liam had never seen. Some looked like humans, but with wings, claws, or elongated limbs. Others were entirely alien in shape, twisting upward as if reaching for the ceiling. The walls glimmered faintly, and the floor beneath his feet was smooth stone, cool to the touch. "You are not the first human to come here," Selene explained, "but you may be the first in a long time who might survive the experience." Liam swallowed hard. "Survive?" he asked, glancing around nervously. Selene's eyes gleamed in the light. "Many humans cannot handle the truth of our city. Fear overwhelms them or curiosity turns to recklessness. But you are different. I can sense it." Her words gave Liam a small spark of confidence, though he could not yet understand why. He noticed that her gaze was not threatening, merely observant, almost analytical. She was studying him as much as he was studying her. They continued down the hallway until they reached a large, arched doorway. Beyond it lay a city unlike any Liam had ever imagined. It stretched out in every direction, lit by soft crimson lights and glowing plants that hovered in the air. Buildings rose like spires of black stone, some carved with intricate designs that seemed to move when he looked at them. Bridges connected towers, and canals of clear water reflected the glowing light above. Liam stopped, his mouth slightly open. This is incredible, Celine smiled. This is our home. The city beneath the human world. We have lived here for centuries hidden from those above. Many believe vampires are monsters, but we have learned, observed and built. Humans have always fascinated us. Your species' courage and creativity are unmatched even by us. As they walked, Liam saw people moving through the streets. Some were humans and some were clearly vampires, though not all were frightening. He noticed that the humans looked alert, strong, and even confident. They were training, studying, and moving through the city with purpose. You see, Celine said, humans can adapt. You can learn, overcome, and thrive in ways even we cannot predict. That is why I am interested in you. Liam's mind raced. Questions crowded him, but one dominated all others. Why him? Why had he woken up in her house, and why had she spared him? Before he could ask, Celine stopped at a large plaza filled with statues and glowing fountains. She gestured to one of the fountains, and Liam noticed water flowing in impossible patterns, twisting and forming shapes that seemed alive. This city is older than any human history, Celine said. Our people have observed humanity for centuries, guiding when necessary, watching when not. But now, there are disturbances above and below, forces that threaten both our worlds. That is why your arrival may be timely. Liam felt a mix of fear and excitement. The stories he had heard about vampires did not include cities like this or guidance or observation. This was something entirely new, and yet a part of him felt that he had been chosen for a reason, though he could not yet understand why. Celine led him to a smaller building, where a table and chairs were arranged. She gestured for him to sit. Rest for now, she said. You will need your strength. Soon you will learn that life here is not just about survival. It is about choice, courage, and understanding. And perhaps your dreams were not merely dreams. Perhaps they were a call. Liam sat, still processing everything. He thought of his ordinary life outside, his home, his friends, and how none of that seemed real anymore. He was in a world of shadows and light, of humans and vampires, and he did not yet know what role he would play. Celine watched him, her expression unreadable. Liam noticed that her smile returned, soft and mysterious. Sleep well, human. Tomorrow your journey begins. Liam leaned back in his chair. He could not sleep yet. His mind was alive with questions, fear, and curiosity. He looked around the room at the glowing symbols and strange objects, wondering how much of his life had been ordinary and how much had prepared him for this moment. For the first time, he felt that being human was not a weakness. In this hidden city, in the presence of a vampire queen, he realized that humanity had something no one else could match: resilience, creativity, and courage. And somewhere deep inside, he felt the stirring of a strange certainty that whatever lay ahead, he was ready to face it. Liam woke the next morning to a strange silence. The room felt warmer than the night before, though the air still carried a faint metallic scent. Sunlight did not reach here. The glow of lanterns and hovering lights bathed everything in a soft red hue. He rubbed his eyes and tried to stand. Celine was already waiting, leaning lightly against the doorframe. Good morning, she said with a small smile. Today you will see more of the city. There is much to learn. Liam nodded, still uncertain of what he should expect. He followed her down the hall, noticing details he had missed the night before. The walls were etched with symbols, and the floors were polished so that his reflection shimmered beneath him. Every corner of the hallway seemed alive, filled with quiet whispers that made him glance over his shoulder. As they exited the building, the city spread before him in full view. Towers reached into the high shadowed ceiling, connected by bridges and walkways that twisted like vines. Glowing plants floated between structures, illuminating streets below. Humans and vampires moved together seamlessly. Some humans wore light armor, training in formations. Others studied strange devices that glowed with energy. Vampires passed among them effortlessly, watching, guiding, or interacting quietly. This city is unlike anything you have seen, Celine said. It has existed for centuries, hidden beneath the human world. Many of your people think vampires are monsters, but that is not the truth. We observe, we guide, and we protect when necessary. Liam's eyes widened as he looked around. He saw humans learning to move swiftly, their eyes bright with concentration. They practiced techniques that combined strength, speed, and clever strategy. Some held glowing weapons, while others studied holographic devices projecting maps and symbols into the air. Humans have always fascinated us, Celine continued. Your creativity, courage, and adaptability are unmatched. Even with all our strength, there are things only humans can do. Liam felt a mixture of awe and nervousness. He could not believe he was walking among a hidden civilization. Everything felt real yet surreal. He wanted to ask questions, but the city itself seemed to demand attention. Every sound, every movement, every shadow carried meaning. Celine led him to a wide plaza in the center of the city. Fountains twisted upward like ribbons, glowing softly. Statues of creatures Liam could not name stood along the edges, some resembling humans, others entirely alien in form. The water flowed in shapes that seemed to float and move on their own, as if dancing to a melody only it could hear. "This plaza is the heart of the city," Celine explained. "Here humans and vampires gather, share knowledge, train, and prepare. We are not a society of chaos or fear. We are a society of purpose." As they walked, a group of humans practicing combat drew Liam's attention. Their movements were precise, their focus intense. Each step seemed carefully calculated, yet they moved with fluidity and grace. Vampires watched from the sidelines, guiding them, correcting a stance or a movement but rarely intervening directly. "These humans are skilled," Liam said, impressed. "They move like warriors," Celine nodded. "They are more than warriors. They are thinkers, strategists, and innovators. Strength alone does not survive here. Only those who can think, adapt, and act with courage thrive." Liam felt a spark of inspiration. He had always thought of himself as ordinary, yet seeing these humans made him realize that even someone like him could find purpose here. They continued through the city, passing buildings filled with glowing screens, libraries with endless rows of books, and chambers where strange devices hummed with energy. Celine explained that the city combined ancient knowledge with modern innovation, blending human ingenuity with vampire endurance and wisdom. At one building, Celine paused. "Here is where humans learn to harness their strengths," she said. "You will not be trained in combat alone. You will be trained in strategy, observation, and decision-making. Everything you do here has a purpose." Liam stepped inside, his curiosity growing. The room was filled with humans of all ages, some studying maps, others practicing with light weapons, and some working on strange devices that emitted soft energy pulses. "You see," Celine said, "humans are not merely learners. They are creators. Your minds can solve problems even the oldest vampires cannot. That is why I am interested in you. You have arrived at a time when both worlds face challenges and your perspective may be needed." Liam felt a thrill run through him. For the first time, he felt that his ordinary life had prepared him for something extraordinary. He wanted to ask more, but Celine's calm, commanding presence reminded him that patience was part of learning here. They moved to an open courtyard where humans practiced teamwork and communication exercises. Liam watched as they navigated obstacles, solved puzzles, and supported each other. Vampires observed silently, intervening only when necessary. "These exercises teach more than skill," Celine said. "They teach trust, courage, and quick thinking. Humans excel in ways even we cannot anticipate. That is why we encourage independence alongside guidance." Liam noticed a young human struggling with a complex device that floated in mid-air. The device projected a holographic puzzle that shifted constantly. After a moment, the human paused, observed carefully, and made a small adjustment. The puzzle responded immediately, locking into place. The human smiled, triumphant. Celine looked at Liam. "Observe closely. You will need to learn not only physical skills, but the power of your mind, your choices, your creativity, and your courage will shape the future." As they walked deeper into the city, Liam saw areas dedicated to research and innovation. Humans worked with glowing crystals, energy conduits, and strange machines that seemed alive. They combined science, magic, and observation, pushing boundaries he had never imagined. "This is how humans and vampires coexist," Celine said. "We provide strength and longevity. Humans provide ingenuity and adaptability. Together, we create a society that can endure challenges others could not survive." Liam felt a sense of purpose growing inside him. He realized that being human was not a weakness here. It was an asset. His mind, his creativity, and his courage were valuable. They stopped at a bridge overlooking a vast canal of glowing water. Boats glided silently along the water, carrying humans and vampires alike. The glow reflected on the buildings, creating patterns that shifted as the current moved. "Do you see?" Celine asked. "Even the smallest human contribution can ripple through our city and create something extraordinary." Courage and intelligence, when combined, can overcome almost anything. Liam nodded, inspired. He thought about his life above, his ordinary routine, and how he had always dreamed of adventure. Now that dream had become reality in ways he had never imagined. As they continued, Selene spoke of challenges that awaited. There are threats above and below, she said. Rogue vampires, unaware humans, and forces that would destroy the balance we have worked centuries to maintain. You have arrived at a time when every skill, every decision, every act of courage matters. Liam listened carefully. He felt the weight of responsibility, but also a sense of excitement. He wanted to prove himself, not just for Selene, but for the humans and vampires who trusted each other here. They reached a quiet plaza where the city's oldest library stood. Selene gestured to the doors. "Knowledge is power," she said. "You will learn the history of our people, the lessons of both worlds, and how to apply them. This will prepare you for what comes next." Liam entered the library, awed by the sight. Endless shelves stretched into the shadows above, filled with books, scrolls, and glowing manuscripts. Holographic images floated in the air, showing maps, diagrams, and historical events. "This is where humans learn the past to shape the future," Selene explained. "Here you will see the strength of your kind, the endurance of ours, and the potential when both work together." Liam felt a spark of hope. For the first time since waking in Selene's house, he felt he could belong somewhere. A place where his mind mattered, where courage could make a difference, and where humans and vampires could coexist peacefully. Selene watched him carefully. "Tomorrow your training begins. Today observe, understand, and reflect. You have seen only a fraction of our city. You will learn more about its people, its purpose, and the challenges that await, and perhaps you will understand why you were brought here." Liam looked around the glowing city, feeling a mix of fear, excitement, and determination. The path ahead was unknown, but for the first time he felt ready to face it. The City of Shadows had opened its doors to him, and he would step forward prepared to learn, to grow, and to prove the power of humanity in a world that had long hidden its wonders. He knew one thing for certain: this was only the beginning. The Vampire Queen City held secrets, challenges, and adventures unlike anything he had ever imagined, and somehow he felt that his ordinary life had led him here for a reason. Liam took a deep breath, ready to embrace whatever came next. The morning light, or what passed for light in the hidden city, glowed softly through the windows of the library. Liam felt both excitement and unease as he prepared for the day ahead. Today would be different. Today would not just be about observing or learning. Today, he would face his first challenge. Selene entered the room silently, her presence commanding attention even without a word. Her crimson eyes studied him carefully. "You are ready," she said simply. "Or at least you will be." Liam swallowed hard. He felt the weight of her words. "What is the test?" he asked, trying to keep his voice steady. She smiled, but it was a sharp, serious smile. "A test of courage and intellect. You will enter the labyrinth. It is a maze beneath our city, filled with puzzles, traps, and creatures. It is designed not only to challenge strength, but also to challenge the mind. Few humans enter and fewer succeed." Liam's heart raced. A maze with dangers? He felt fear creep into him, but also a spark of determination. He had never faced anything like this, yet something deep inside told him he could do it. "The labyrinth is more than a physical space," Selene continued. "It will test your observation, your creativity, and your ability to remain calm under pressure. You will find clues, face obstacles, and make choices that determine whether you advance or fail." Liam nodded. He had always relied on his mind to solve problems, but he had never faced a situation like this. Still, he felt a strange sense of trust in Selene. She would not send him to danger unnecessarily. They walked to a large arched doorway. Beyond it, a staircase spiraled downward into darkness. The air grew cooler and heavier with each step. Strange symbols glowed faintly along the walls, pulsing like the heartbeat of the city itself. "This is the entrance," Selene said. "Once you enter, you must rely on yourself. Do not expect help. Remember, courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to act despite it." Liam took a deep breath. "I understand." Selene placed a hand briefly on his shoulder. Her touch was cold but reassuring. "Good, step forward, human. Your journey begins now." He moved into the labyrinth. The doorway closed silently behind him, leaving him in a dimly lit tunnel. The walls glimmered faintly, casting long shadows that shifted as he walked. The air smelled of earth, water, and something faintly metallic. Every step echoed, making him aware of how alone he truly was. At first, the maze seemed simple. Corridors twisted and turned, some leading to dead ends, others opening into wider chambers. Strange inscriptions covered the walls. Liam studied them carefully. Some symbols appeared to form patterns, while others seemed random. He realized that observation alone would not be enough. He needed to think, to notice connections, to anticipate what might come next. In the first chamber, he found a puzzle carved into the floor. Colored tiles formed a sequence, some glowing brighter than others. He remembered Celine's words about creativity and observation. Kneeling down, he examined the tiles. Each one had a small mark, almost like a clue. He pressed the tiles in order, testing his reasoning step by step. The floor shifted, revealing a hidden passage. Liam's heart leapt. Small successes gave him confidence, and he pressed onward, careful with every step. As he advanced, he heard faint noises. At first, he thought it was the echo of his own footsteps. Then he noticed something moving in the shadows. A creature emerged, a small, swift being with glowing eyes and sharp claws. It moved quickly but did not attack immediately. Liam froze, remembering what Celine had said. Courage is acting despite fear. He scanned the chamber, looking for options. There were no weapons, only a narrow ledge along one wall. Thinking quickly, he stepped onto the ledge and used the shadows to avoid the creature. His movements were deliberate and careful. When he reached the other side, the creature vanished into the darkness. Liam exhaled slowly. Fear had been present, but he had acted. Courage, he realized, was not about fighting blindly. It was about making choices, using intelligence, and remaining calm under pressure. The labyrinth grew more complex. Corridors twisted in impossible ways, and chambers contained multiple puzzles, traps, and creatures. Liam faced challenges that tested his memory, logic, and observation. Some puzzles required him to match symbols with shapes he had seen earlier. Others required him to move through pressure-sensitive floors or navigate patterns of light that shifted unpredictably. Each time he solved a challenge, a door opened, leading him further into the maze. Sometimes he paused, unsure of the correct path. He learned to trust his instincts, balancing caution with decisive action. Slowly, he began to feel a rhythm to the labyrinth, an underlying order beneath the chaos. Hours passed, or perhaps minutes. Time felt different here. Liam had faced small creatures, solved intricate puzzles, and navigated narrow passages. He felt exhaustion, yet his determination never wavered. Every success strengthened his confidence, and every failure taught him to observe more carefully. At the center of the labyrinth, he reached a large chamber bathed in glowing light. In the center stood a crystal, hovering slightly above a pedestal. The light it emitted was soft but intense, illuminating the entire room. Around the crystal, shadows moved, coalescing into the shape of a guardian creature. It was large, with multiple limbs and eyes that glowed like molten gold. Liam's heart pounded. This was the final test. He remembered Celine's words. Courage is acting despite fear. He studied the creature carefully. It did not move aggressively yet. Its stance suggested it would strike if he acted rashly. He noticed patterns in its movements. The creature's limbs followed a sequence, predictable if observed closely. Liam waited, timing his approach carefully. When a brief opening appeared, he stepped forward, moving silently, focusing entirely on the pattern. He reached the crystal. It pulsed softly under his fingers. The creature paused, as if acknowledging his courage. Then, in a sudden burst of light, it dissolved into shadows that vanished into the air. Liam stood, breathing heavily, feeling a surge of triumph. He had passed the labyrinth. Not through strength alone, but through intelligence, observation, and courage. He realized that fear had not disappeared, but it had become a tool, a guide rather than a barrier. As the glow of the chamber faded, a doorway opened, leading him back toward the city. Liam stepped through, feeling the familiar air of the underground world. The city welcomed him back, bustling as before, yet he felt changed. He understood now that survival required more than physical ability. It required thought, courage, and heart. Celine was waiting at the exit. Her eyes glowed softly in the dim light. "You have returned," she said. "I trust the labyrinth has taught you much." Liam nodded, his voice firm. "Yes, I understand now. Courage, intelligence, and careful observation. They matter more than brute strength." Celine smiled faintly. "Indeed. Many humans fail because they do not understand this. But you..." You may have potential we have not seen in centuries." Liam felt a sense of pride but also responsibility. He had faced the labyrinth and survived, but he knew the challenges ahead would be even greater. Rogue vampires, hidden dangers, and unknown forces awaited, yet he felt ready to face them, armed with knowledge, courage, and the lessons he had learned. "You are ready for more than observation now," Celine said. "The labyrinth was only the beginning. Soon you will face real challenges where your decisions will affect not only yourself but others as well." Liam nodded, feeling a surge of determination. He had proven he could act despite fear, think through complex problems, and make careful choices under pressure. The city, the vampires, and the humans had become more than observers. They were allies, guiding him, challenging him, and preparing him for what was to come. As they walked back toward the city, Liam looked around at the glowing towers, the bustling streets, and the humans and vampires working together. He felt a new sense of purpose. He realized that courage alone was not enough. Intelligence, creativity, and trust were equally important. He had discovered the power within himself, and it was only the beginning. Celine glanced at him, her expression unreadable but approving. "Remember, human, the labyrinth teaches lessons, but life teaches more. You will face tests beyond puzzles and creatures. You will face choices that require wisdom, courage, and heart. And when that time comes, you must act as you did here, with clarity and bravery." Liam nodded silently. He felt the weight of her words, but also a spark of hope. The labyrinth had shown him what he was capable of. He understood now that he was not an ordinary human. In this hidden city, with the guidance of the Vampire Queen, he could grow stronger, smarter, and more capable than he had ever imagined. And somewhere deep inside, he felt a quiet certainty that the challenges ahead, however dangerous, were not impossible. He had faced the labyrinth. He had survived. And he would face whatever came next with courage and determination. Liam returned from the labyrinth feeling stronger and more confident. The challenges he had faced had tested not only his mind but also his courage. Yet as he walked through the glowing streets of the hidden city, he realized that the labyrinth was only the beginning. There was more to learn, more to face, and more to prove. Celine was waiting for him at the edge of a quiet plaza. Her crimson eyes glimmered softly in the red light. "You have done well," she said. "Few humans have ever completed the labyrinth. Even fewer do so without hesitation, fear, or panic. You have shown that courage and intelligence can coexist." Liam nodded. "Thank you. But I know this is just the beginning. There is still much I do not understand." Celine's gaze softened slightly. "Indeed, that is why you are here. There are forces above and below that threaten both humans and vampires. Rogue vampires seek to dominate, and unchecked humans above may disrupt the balance. You have arrived at a time when decisions and courage matter more than ever." Liam felt a mix of fear and excitement. He had always thought of himself as ordinary. Now he understood that his presence in this city had meaning. His actions could influence the balance between two worlds. Celine led him to a training ground, open to the sky and bathed in the soft glow of floating lanterns. Humans and vampires moved among each other, practicing combat strategy and teamwork. Liam watched carefully, noting how humans applied creativity and quick thinking, while vampires relied on speed, strength, and centuries of experience. "You will train here," Celine said, "not only to improve your skills but to learn the value of teamwork and collaboration. Strength alone will not protect you, but courage guided by intelligence can overcome almost any challenge." Liam nodded and joined a group of humans. They were preparing for exercises designed to test their coordination and problem-solving under pressure. Liam noticed how quickly they adapted, communicating silently with gestures and shared glances. He felt a sense of belonging, realizing that he could learn from them and contribute in his own way. Celine watched from the sidelines, her gaze sharp and assessing. "Observe closely," she instructed. "Humans are often underestimated, but your kind can solve problems even those older than time cannot. Remember this lesson well." The exercises began. Liam's group faced obstacles that required both strategy and courage. They had to navigate narrow platforms over glowing pits, solve shifting puzzles under time pressure, and respond to unexpected challenges introduced by the instructors. At first, Liam hesitated, unsure of the fastest route. But he remembered the labyrinth and how careful observation had guided him. He communicated his ideas to the group, suggesting safer paths and creative solutions. Slowly, the team moved together, overcoming obstacles and learning to trust each other. By the end of the exercises, Liam felt a new sense of confidence. He had not only survived the labyrinth, but had also contributed to the success of a team. He realized that humans could make a difference, not through sheer strength, but through courage, intelligence, and collaboration. As they rested, Celine approached him. "You are learning quickly," she said. "But the challenges ahead are not exercises. Rogue vampires above and within our city are gathering. Their goal is control through fear, not guidance. If left unchecked, they will threaten both humans and vampires alike." Liam felt a chill. He had faced creatures in the labyrinth, but real enemies with intent to harm were far more dangerous. Yet he also felt determination. He had learned that fear could be controlled and that courage could guide action. Celine continued, "We need allies, humans who can think independently, act decisively, and inspire courage in others." "You may be one such ally," Liam hesitated. "Me? But I'm just learning." Celine's eyes softened slightly. "Learning is part of courage. Acting despite uncertainty is true bravery. You have proven yourself capable. The choice is yours. You may return to your ordinary life above, or you may join us and face the challenges together." Liam took a deep breath. He thought of the city, the humans training with purpose and the vampires guiding without fear. He remembered the labyrinth and the lessons it had taught him. His heart pounded with determination. "I will stay," he said. "I want to help." Celine's smile was faint but approving. "Very well. Then your real training begins." Over the next days, Liam learned more about the city and its people. He trained alongside humans and vampires, combining strategies, skills, and knowledge. He learned to move quietly, to observe patterns, and to anticipate danger. The vampires taught him endurance and reflexes, while humans taught him creativity, quick thinking, and the value of trust. Celine often observed silently, intervening only when necessary. She occasionally offered guidance, her words precise and meaningful. "Courage without thought is recklessness," she said one day. "Thought without courage is useless. Remember to balance both." One evening, as the red glow bathed the city, Celine brought Liam to the edge of a tower overlooking the underground world. "You see the city below?" she asked. "Every light, every human, every vampire contributes. The balance is delicate. Rogue forces seek to disrupt it, and their reach extends above and below." Liam nodded. He felt the weight of responsibility, but also a growing sense of purpose. He understood that his actions, decisions, and courage could influence the outcome of conflicts yet unseen. Celine continued, "The rogues are clever. They do not rely on brute force alone. They manipulate, deceive, and exploit fear. You will need more than strength. You will need insight, creativity, and trust in those who fight alongside you." Liam felt a spark of determination. He thought of the humans who had trained with him, of the lessons from the labyrinth, and of Celine's guidance. He realized that humanity had a power often underestimated, the ability to adapt, to innovate, and to inspire courage in others. The next challenge came sooner than expected. Reports reached Celine that rogue vampires had attacked a nearby outpost, a place where humans and vampires coexisted peacefully. The rogues had intended to sow fear and assert control. Celine decided to act quickly. "You will accompany me," she said to Liam. "This will be your first real mission. Observation and preparation will only take you so far. You must act and you must lead when necessary." Liam felt his heart race. This was real. Lives were at stake, not exercises or puzzles. He remembered Celine's words, "Courage is acting despite fear." He squared his shoulders and nodded. The journey to the outpost was tense. Shadows moved strangely along the tunnels, and Liam noticed signs of disturbance. Overturned carts, faint marks of conflict, and broken barriers. His senses sharpened. He observed, analyzed, and prepared for whatever lay ahead. When they arrived, the outpost was in chaos. Humans and vampires were defending themselves, but they were outnumbered. The rogue vampires were powerful, using both strength and cunning to intimidate and dominate. Liam felt fear, but he remembered the labyrinth. Observation, strategy, and courage could turn the tide. He noticed a weak point in the attackers' formation. Quietly, he communicated with a group of humans, guiding them to flank the rogues. The humans hesitated, but Liam's calm determination inspired them. They acted swiftly, surprising the rogues and disrupting their attack. Celine moved with precision, neutralizing threats efficiently, but it was Liam's strategy and courage that allowed the humans to gain the advantage. Slowly, the rogues were forced to retreat, their plan undone by the unexpected alliance of humans and vampires working together. When the battle ended, Selena turned to Liam. "You have done well," she said. "Courage and intelligence together can achieve what strength alone cannot. Humans have potential beyond fear. You have proven it today." Liam felt a mixture of relief and pride. He had faced real danger, made decisions under pressure, and helped others succeed. He realized that courage was not just about facing fear. It was about guiding others, inspiring confidence, and making careful choices when stakes were high. Celine smiled faintly. "This is only the beginning. Rogue forces will continue to test us, but humanity has a role that cannot be replaced. Your courage, your insight, and your ability to inspire will be needed again and again." Liam nodded, understanding the truth in her words. He had entered this city as an ordinary human, uncertain and afraid. Now he felt part of something greater. He was an ally, a strategist, and a symbol of courage in a hidden world where humans and vampires worked together. As they returned to the city, Liam looked around at the glowing streets, the humans and vampires rebuilding, and the city alive with purpose. He felt determination and hope. He knew challenges would continue, but he also knew that courage guided by intelligence and collaboration could overcome even the greatest threats. And somewhere deep inside, he felt a quiet certainty. The unexpected alliance he had formed today was only the beginning. Humanity, when guided and trusted, could shine brighter than any shadow, and he was ready to be part of that light. The hidden city was quiet as Liam and Selene prepared for what could be the greatest challenge yet. Rumors of the rogue vampires' plans had spread quickly. Their attack on the outpost was only the beginning. They sought to dominate both humans and vampires, using fear as their weapon. Tonight, Selene said, they would strike at the heart of the city. Liam felt a mixture of fear and determination. He had faced the labyrinth, trained with humans and vampires, and led a successful defense of the outpost. Yet this battle would test everything he had learned. Mistakes here could cost lives, and the rogues would show no mercy. Selene approached him, her crimson eyes glowing softly in the lantern light. "You have proven courage and intelligence," she said. "Now strategy and teamwork will determine the outcome. Humans have a role that cannot be replaced. You must act decisively, guide others, and inspire confidence. Can you do that?" Liam swallowed hard, feeling the weight of responsibility. "I will do my best," he said. "Good," Selene replied. "Then follow me. Our city depends on every choice we make tonight." They moved through the streets, gathering humans and vampires for the defense. Selene's presence commanded attention. Her calm strength reassured those around her. But Liam realized it was his own knowledge and observation that would guide the human defenders. He felt a quiet determination grow inside him. The rogues arrived under the cover of darkness. Shadows moved swiftly through the streets, and a sense of tension spread like wildfire. The city's lights glowed brighter as defenders positioned themselves strategically. Humans and vampires formed lines, prepared for both attack and counterattack. Liam observed the rogues carefully. They were numerous and powerful, yet overconfidence showed in their formation. He quickly relayed instructions to a group of humans, directing them to positions where they could disrupt the attack and protect civilians. His voice was calm but firm, and the humans followed without hesitation. Selene moved among the vampires, guiding them with precision. Her presence was commanding, yet she trusted Liam to lead the humans. Together they formed a united front, humans and vampires fighting as one. The battle began with sudden intensity. The rogues attacked from multiple directions, using both speed and strength. Liam's heart raced, but he remembered the labyrinth. Observation, strategy, and courage could overcome fear. He stayed calm, adjusting plans as the situation changed. Using clever distractions, Liam directed small teams to flank the rogues. Humans placed traps, redirected attackers, and created openings for Selene and the vampires to strike. Every decision had to be precise. Hesitation could lead to disaster. Despite the chaos, Liam noticed patterns in the rogues' movements. Their overconfidence made them predictable in some ways. He called out instructions to humans, guiding them to exploit weaknesses. Step by step, the tide of battle began to shift. A powerful rogue vampire charged toward a group of humans, claws extended. Liam acted instantly. He shouted directions and the humans moved as one, dodging the attack and leading the rogue into a trap. The creature was caught and neutralized. Liam felt a surge of confidence. Courage and intelligence together could achieve results that strength alone could not. Selene noticed his effectiveness and smiled faintly. "You have learned well," she said. "Your presence inspires others. That is the greatest strength of all." As the battle raged, Liam led humans to protect critical points, bridges, canals, and supply areas. Each success bolstered morale. Humans and vampires began to move as a single unit, covering weaknesses and supporting each other. Fear was present, but it no longer controlled them. Courage, guided by strategy and trust, led the way. The rogue leader appeared, a towering vampire with glowing eyes and immense power. It moved with confidence, believing it could dominate both worlds. Liam felt fear, but he remembered Selene's words. Courage is acting despite fear. He studied the leader, looking for patterns, weaknesses, and opportunities. He noticed a subtle rhythm in the leader's movements. Its strikes were powerful but predictable if anticipated. Liam relayed his observations to the humans nearby. They moved as instructed, distracting the leader, creating openings, and using every advantage. Selene engaged the rogue leader alongside Liam's plan. Her movements were precise, combining strength and agility, but it was Liam's guidance that allowed the humans to contribute effectively. The rogue leader underestimated them, assuming humans were weak. That mistake would cost it dearly. Using a combination of traps, feints, and clever positioning, Liam and the defenders forced the leader into a confined area. There, humans and vampires struck together, overwhelming it through coordination, strategy, and determination. The rogue leader fell, defeated not by strength alone but by intelligence, courage, and unity. The remaining rogues, seeing their leader defeated and their attacks disrupted, began to retreat. The city's defenders did not pursue recklessly but maintained order, ensuring safety while securing victory. Humans and vampires alike breathed a collective sigh of relief. Liam felt his chest swell with pride. He had faced fear, made decisions under pressure, and inspired others to act with courage. He realized that humanity's greatest strength was not in individual power, but in the ability to adapt, think, and collaborate. Selene approached him as the battle ended. Her expression was approving, her crimson eyes reflecting both pride and relief. "You have done well," she said. "Humans have the courage to face danger and intelligence to guide their actions. Together, we have achieved what might have seemed impossible." Liam felt a sense of fulfillment. He had arrived in the hidden city uncertain and afraid. Now he had become an integral part of its defense. He understood that courage alone was not enough. Strategy, observation, and collaboration were equally important. The city began to recover. Humans and vampires worked together to repair damage, heal the wounded, and restore order. Liam moved among them, helping where he could, feeling connected to a community that valued courage, intelligence, and trust. Selene stood on a high platform overlooking the city. Liam joined her, watching the lights glow softly against the dark backdrop of the underground world. "You have proven that humans are more than observers," she said. "They can lead, inspire, and shape outcomes even when the odds seem impossible. You have shown that today." Liam nodded, feeling both humble and proud. "I have learned much," he said. "But I also see that there is still more to learn." Selene smiled faintly. "Indeed, life will continue to challenge us. Threats will rise and decisions will be difficult, but humanity's courage, when combined with intelligence and trust, will always shine. Today you have proven that." As the night continued, the city celebrated quietly. Humans and vampires moved through the streets, helping each other, sharing stories and reflecting on the victory. Liam walked among them, feeling a sense of belonging he had never known before. He thought of the labyrinth, the training, and the battle. Each challenge had taught him something new. Fear had been present in all of it, but courage had guided him. Observation, strategy, and collaboration had allowed humans and vampires to succeed together. Selene turned to him, her expression softening. "You spoke of me in your sleep," she said with a faint laugh. "Perhaps your dreams were more than mere dreams. Perhaps they were a call to action, a sign that humanity's best qualities could shine even in shadowed places." Liam smiled, understanding the meaning. Dreams, courage, and purpose had led him here. He had found a hidden city, faced incredible challenges, and discovered the strength within himself and within humanity. Perhaps, he said quietly, but the city, the people, and everything I have learned, it has shown me that courage and heart are what truly matter. Celine nodded. And that is why humans endure. You may be ordinary above, but here you have proven extraordinary. You have reminded all of us that humanity's light is not easily dimmed even in darkness. Liam felt a quiet certainty. He had come to this city uncertain, afraid, and alone. Now he had found purpose, allies, and the knowledge that humanity could face even the greatest threats with courage and intelligence. As dawn approached, the city glowed softly, safe and united once more. Liam looked out across the streets, feeling hope, pride, and determination. He knew that challenges would come again, but he also knew that courage, combined with strategy and trust, could overcome even the darkest threats, and in that moment, he understood the truth that Celine had always known. Humanity, when guided and empowered, could shine brighter than any shadow, stronger than any force, and braver than any fear. Liam smiled, ready for whatever the future might bring. The city had survived, humanity had triumphed, and he had discovered the power within himself. This was only the beginning of a journey where courage, intelligence, and heart would continue to shape the world, and he was ready to face it all.